Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Can We Talk 420, where we live the changes we wish to see in the world.
That's
Isn't that right?
That's right. Hey guys, it's been a long time.
It
Join
has.
us here each week when we try to entertain you guys. We try to educate you and teach you how to live a Cana lifestyle.
We sure do.
And our Cana lifestyle has taken us on the road for freedoms. We are out. We are out creating the largest civil and human rights walk in history. The Walk Change. That's www.walk4change.us is our website. Please check us out, guys. And what we're walking for are individual freedoms, truly, to end prohibition, first and foremost, to free all plant prisoners.
Yes.
Secondly, without question, they all need to be released.
To bring common sense and logic back to governing.
That's correct. What else?
To end the tyranny of cannabis prohibition.
Mm-hmm.
And walk for many changes. We all have many changes that we want to walk for, and some are very personal. So they are they're based on each individual
on our life,
person.
Liberty, and pursuit of happiness.
That's right.
Which is a lot of the other things that we believe. That's another reason Helen and I are walking. We incorporate the facts that our individual freedoms are infringed upon on a constant.
I think our reason is pretty clear. Where we understand that we are part of the generation that created the havoc that we are all living in right now. And we understand that we need to participate in changing it, because if we don't, our children and our grandchildren don't have a very good future.
That's right.
And it's scary to see what their future looks like. So that's why we walk. And but we normally do our TV show from the studio. Since we are out on the road, we've decided to do it like this, and it's pretty cool. And
it's the journey started September
18th. I have it up there.
19th or something. Yeah.
18th.
Whatever day it was. It was, we spoke on the 20th day, so I know it was. And we went to Boston. We left our home in New York. We gave away everything we pretty much owned, except for what we could fit in a 13-foot trailer that we're towing behind our car.
Which is what we're in right now.
Yeah, which we tow behind our car, and we left everything, and except for 2 dogs, the only things we really pretty much kept, and some personal things that are
Louie and Indica.
Yeah, always our small little things we keep. And we set out on the road to freedom, and we started in Boston, Massachusetts, where we were on a panel for spirituality and cannabis, and we spoke at that panel. I actually moderated the panel.
At the Boston Freedom Rally.
At the 30th annual, sure. And then we left there, and actually we saw Tanya Sanders. It was the first thing we did. Went and saw my brother. Went and saw Tanya in the hospital. Helped Tanya out with some medications that she needed. And then went to the Boston Freedom Rally, and then from the Boston Freedom Rally we went to Ohio.
Yes, we went to Ohio, and we rallied there and campaigned for the freedom of Peggy Sue Kimmel and Glenn Keeling. They're a couple. They are activists. They are chapter coordinators in Ohio for the Human Solution International, as we are the traveling chapter and the New York State chapter. And they are fighting every day for their own lives and for others, which, really speaks volumes to the people that we have in our network. And we're a family, and we do for each other. We're there for each other. And it's all about what's doing it right. It's all about making good choices. Yes. And you do have to sacrifice for, to make those things happen. But that's what life's about. This is what it's supposed to be about. So that's where we went. Yep. We went there, and we rallied there, and we met with, we also met
Mercer County. What's it?
Mercer County Federal Courthouse. We were in Salina, but it's the Mercer County Courthouse.
Yes. And we even sat right out in front of the DA's
And then we went to Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And we hooked up with Amy Wolfenbarger. and she is also running for office there in
On the
Cincinnati.
Democratic ticket?
No, on the Republican
Democratic
ticket.
ticket.
Is she Democratic?
Yeah, Democratic
Oh,
ticket.
okay. Why did I think she was Republican?
No, she's really Democratic.
Anyway,
very libertarian minded, but
sorry. But yeah, she was. It was just a stellar stay, and
got to introduce her with an activist that lived literally walking distance from her.
Yes, it was nice to be able to put those two people together. Not even
put them together, yeah.
And Amy. But we met Kim Rupp there too, and that was a great meeting for us. Her and I clicked really well.
Another guy, Joe from Normal, came out.
It's nice to see people come together for this one cause, one cause that affects so much.
We were out in front of the federal court building that day.
Yes, yes. You know, we did. And speaking of that day, you know, we did. I was a very disheartening day in Cincinnati for me, and I'm going to tell you why. Yeah. You know, when we first got there, you know, Pete had done everything. You know, what?
Water. Sorry.
It was disheartening for me because we were approached by a police officer in the beginning when we first got there. And, you know, his gripe was legitimate, and he could have, you know, been an ass at that point and wasn't. But he had said, you need to be 20 feet from the curb, from the crosswalk. So we're not, you know, blocking people from getting from the road onto the walkway. Mm-hmm. Okay. So we're pointing out different areas that are 20 feet or even if not more. And he's saying, well, and he's pointing out one spot, which happened to be across the street that was underneath this in front of this closed.
So you couldn't even tell where we were doing. Right.
Right. So he kept kind of like, you know, you can be 20 feet from, but I kind of really want you over here. You know, it was kind of like that. So we just, you know, we didn't want to take the table all across the street. We had everything all out and set up. And Pete wasn't there at the time that we were approached in the beginning, but right. Amy was. And Amy being, you know, she's running for office. She's a citizen of that city. You know, she spoke with him, you know, and very, very eloquently, professionally. Oh yeah. And she said, you know, absolutely, we will move. And we did. We moved 20 feet down the same sidewalk, but
around the corner, even actually around the corner from the building.
So now Pete comes back and we're there for I don't know, good 30 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, we were there for a good 30 minutes, I'd say, in that spot.
Yeah.
And here comes the officer back
on his bike.
On his scooter, I think he was on actually. Screaming. But he comes back and he says, yeah, just do what you want. That's okay. Yep, just do what you want. And Pete goes, whoa, like, what's going on, officer? Is everything okay? And he says, yeah, I don't want to talk to that thing over there. And he's pointing to Amy.
And I said, well, excuse
me.
And he
says, you know, officer, you know, this is a woman. You know, what seems to be the problem? I wasn't here when you came before, you know, and he explains to him. So Pete, you know, very accommodating, and we fold the table up because that really was the issue, was that we had a table up. Period. Yeah. They didn't want our table up.
With literature out and all sorts of stuff.
So it was okay that we're walking back and forth, you know, so we accommodated and did. But my point is, and why I was so disheartened is the way that he came up. He was such a bully. Yeah. And it was so unnecessary.
Amy called her a thing, all this stuff, you know?
But this is the type of stuff that's happening all over. And it seems to be getting progressively worse. And I don't understand why. I do see that it's happening for a reason. I think that it's happening and they're being told to almost antagonize, to create situations, and maybe some will fall for it. We're activists of cannabis. We don't fall for that because we're peaceful people.
I found the most interesting line of the whole conversation between me and that officer was when I said to him, well, okay, well, listen, that's fine. If all we need to be is out of the way and we need to fold up the table, I'm fine with that. I said, as long as I can get my point across. And he goes, I don't care what your point is. And I go, well, I truly don't care what yours is. My point is I'm able to get mine across. That's all I'm asking, because it's my First Amendment right to be able to speak and be able to gather. This is the next thing. Well, you go get a permit. I've got to pay permission now. I've got to pay anywhere you go that isn't public property, that you're not impeding any public people in the public, you have to pay. So like you can't even go to a public park. Why? Because you may gather too many people. Because I think if you gather more than 25, you're really in trouble. But the whole point is
see, now how does that?
you can.
Well, how does that fare for the pastors though?
It doesn't matter.
You don't think so?
You still have to get
Why
a permit.
aren't
they have to get a permit? They go get a permit. And that's what the whole guy's thing was. If you would have paid for permission, why shouldn't I have to pay for permission to say that something that's going on in our world is wrong?
Is wrong.
I shouldn't. I shouldn't have to pay for permission to have to go and rally across America to let people know that, hey, listen, you're not alone, and that other people care and other people will do whatever they can. All we need is your support. We need whatever talent you can bring. And I mean, when I'm talking about talent, I don't even care if it's you could crochet a beanie and take a picture of it and post it. We don't care what it is. Whatever your talent is, it has nothing to do with it.
Don't worry about it. I'm sharing the feed.
But we don't care what it is. We all have a reason why we're unhappy. We all have a reason why we don't understand why we have to live in a place right now that is filled with hatred and filled with confusion and filled with people that can't make right choices just because they're right, and they make the wrong choice because they're just so afraid, and it's out of complete fear. And we're not supposed to live in that world. We're not supposed to live in fear of those that supposedly are our mouthpieces.
That's
not
right.
That rule
right.
over us. And we get so confused, I think, anymore, and convoluted in our thoughts, and we get so afraid because we've been taught since the 80s that the government's so big that they can stop you. But listen to what I say to you.
Yes.
There are 500 men and women that are in office. If 360 million people are not happy with 500, they are easily replaced.
That's right.
That's all it is. I'm not talking about, revolution and yay, let's spear the government and become communist or Nazi or whatever. Just pick a whatever. I don't. That's not what it's about. It's about being American. It's about a set of rules that were written for us and promises that were given to us as people. As people, not as slaves or worker bees for the machine. Because this is what we've become.
That's right.
And we have to stop, sit back for a moment, and recognize that we don't have to. We don't have to live like that. We shouldn't want to, and we shouldn't accept that.
That's right. You sons of bitches, they blocked me.
So by doing it, and by doing what's right, I should say, and banding together in solidarity and saying you're just not doing things right, man. Families are separated. Children are ripped from homes just because a person decides that they don't want to be on opiates.
Yeah, we have to wake up the ones that are still sleeping so that they can join us in saying there's a better way. Absolutely. We now are becoming more aware, and there is a better way. We were very misguided to think that we could alter Mother Nature to suit our human needs. We needed to just go to Mother Nature. We never needed to alter her.
And an inconvenience. It's just killing us.
Yeah. Oh God, the convenience is for sure killing us. We need to just understand that simpler times are needed, and if we don't seek it, it's just going to come in a manner that we won't be ready for.
When you live simply, you have to live carefully. Like, you have to be planned. You have to, all of our stuff's in our car, but for us to get our clothes out takes us 2 seconds.
2 seconds.
Because we know how everything's packed.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom. We move one
It's
thing
just
normally,
organization.
and it's organization, right? And it doesn't. It's not convoluted with an electric bill that goes with it, and 50 fucking more feet of space that you have to heat. And the smaller and less space we take up, the better. I mean, we live on top of each other as it is in this country.
We sure do.
It's spread out and it's beautiful, and I'm glad that the land isn't touched, believe me. But we have this perception that America is just such a crowded place, and it's really not.
Yeah, we do have that misperception, that's for sure. It's not a crowded place. There's a lot of land that's just unoccupied for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of miles.
Right. When we left Ohio, we went to Rutledge. We were going to go to Knoxville, Tennessee.
Yes, Tennessee is such a beautiful state, boy.
Yes, we love it.
I really love Tennessee.
Really
so anybody from Tennessee, you guys got a great state.
It's in the top 5 right now.
For sure, you guys got a great state.
Absolutely.
I really like it.
For many reasons.
But it's a great state.
But we stopped. We saw my cousin. We stayed with her.
Yeah.
Just about the first anniversary of her husband's death, and so it was kind of sad.
It is another, a heart attack victim, and
50
like
years old.
Yeah, at 50, and this is happening like all too often. And think about how many people actually die of old age today.
Not very many.
There isn't many at all, and it's getting less and less and less. It's especially in the masses, and I'm not talking about the 1%ers. They're living forever, boy. I'd love to take what their preservative is, but so I mean, I wouldn't alter my body in any way for no matter how much money I had.
With plant material.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't alter, meaning plastic surgery is what I'm saying, or Botox or anything like that.
You're beautiful. What would you need to alter?
I'm not always going to be beautiful. I'm going to get old.
Oh, honey. So
I'm turning back my clock with cannabis, by the way.
My grandmother's 93. She's gorgeous.
She is. Can we not go all over the place? Because it kind of annoys the shit out of me.
Sorry.
Okay. Sorry about that. But this happens sometimes. And the best part about it happening like this is we don't have to worry about the curse words like we do on the TV show.
That's right.
So, but I will absolutely keep my foul mouth dialed down. I promise.
We've been PG so far.
Yes. So,
I don't think shit.
So, anyway, we have lots of stuff still coming that we're doing, and we're going. Our first rally for the walk is October 19th.
Yeah, we're headed to that
in
tomorrow.
Missouri.
Yeah.
And we are leaving North Carolina tomorrow, and we are heading there. Mm-hmm.
But we left Tennessee. We went to Florida, and we seen Marty.
Yes.
Which was so good to see her. But the thing is, we get there, and the day we arrive, she goes in the hospital.
Yeah. So
and she was so mad.
Yeah, she was.
But we sprung her
really
the next
mad.
day. We sprung her.
Yeah.
Got her home.
Yeah. We were able to spend some time with her, which was beautiful and very relaxing. Pete did a lot of fishing and caught a lot of fish, even caught a turtle.
Yeah.
Threw them all back, of course,
yeah.
because that's the point.
Yeah.
And otherwise it'd be called catching. I think Marty said that, as a matter of fact. Yeah. So I stole it from her.
Said. I was just fishing.
But
I wasn't catching. I was just fishing.
Yeah, so then while we were down there, my brother had a massive heart attack.
Yeah, tragedy strikes.
So that's what brought us up to North Carolina, was my brother having a massive heart attack and 3 stents put in, and it was a pretty bad heart attack. But let me tell you something. The recovery process was in record time.
I mean, he's an avid cannabis user, so
record time.
Yeah, he doesn't take pharma. He had a couple of small prescriptions that really we're not too worried.
But doesn't live his life that way.
But yeah, right. And he's a very avid
cannabis user.
So that just goes to show the protection he had around his heart and heart in particular.
So that was a beautiful thing. To watch that recovery was
scary
crazy.
as fuck. I gotta say, the first day. I was, oh, but believe me, I was optimistic the entire time.
I wasn't, man.
I
You know,
was,
they told me my brother was down for 40 minutes. They told me there was no veins, that they had to go in through the bone. They went through both groins and capped.
Yeah.
I mean, it was big.
Yeah.
It was a massive heart attack.
He wasn't out for 40 minutes, so we found out. I mean,
no, but they worked on him here
of
for
course.
40
well,
minutes.
yeah, they worked on him.
So that's why.
Yeah, he didn't.
But
Thank
they
God,
didn't
have like that much.
Thank
oxygen in
God.
the walls,
Thank
'cause
God.
he'd have never been.
But I knew that his brain was okay when I went in the first day, and he heard my voice and he opened his eyes.
Yeah.
So that was huge for me, because then I understood that he was able to decipher, you know, between the voices in the room.
Had the first EEG of the brain. We didn't have anything else to go by, so we didn't know how much. You know, we knew there was no real major damage, but
we didn't know if there was,
any. Right, we didn't know what, how much damage.
Right.
But once he heard your voice and he opened his eyes, you were like elated.
Yes,
I mean, like the whole room lit up.
Well, that meant everything.
I know.
That
that's what I'm
meant
saying.
to
The
me,
whole room lit up.
That at that point meant that he could decipher between what he was hearing and who he was hearing. So that meant everything. It's
now, mind
important.
you, at that point in time, he was still like being brought out of the coma, so he doesn't really remember all that or whatever else.
Of course not.
But it was good just to see the reaction. At that point in time,
For sure.
he was like, his whole eyes were telling the story. Like, what the hell's wrong with my legs and my arms? Why can't I? You know, because they had him bound because he was thrashing, and they had.
And he kept just trying to break that. You know, he just like this, and I'm like, I know what's going through his mind. I can see what's going through his mind, and he really was just trying to resign himself to what was happening. You know, trying to figure it out, and then resign himself to what was happening. And once he got the gravity of it, then he was like, okay, now what do I need to do to get to the other side of it? So, you know, we were all very honest with him. And now, thank God, he's been released today. And let's just hope that he can change what he needs to change, because let me tell you, it's a lot. It's a lifestyle. He has heart disease that runs rampant through our family. I've changed my lifestyle because of it, and I'm hoping and praying that he will do the same. We are both Geminis, both born on the same day, so we kind of have the same thought process. So I'm kind of
they're both fighters too.
We are. We're both pit bulls. We both are headstrong, and when something's got to get done, we do it, and it's.
Well, I want to segue a little bit back into then why we walk for change and who we walk for change for, and so because there's plenty of people we know that can't actually physically get up and walk from the West Coast to the East Coast, or even when we walk past their house, they might not even be able to walk, but if you can get in a wheelchair, we'll help push you, even if it's a city block, just so you can feel like you participated. We'll have people to be able to do that. We need walkers along the way, guys, and we definitely need places to stop with sponsorships and a couple cooks.
We need cooks.
You know, cooks and things like that.
We need nurses.
We need things like this. But the walk for change, like Helen and I every day, like you hear we're here with her brother, you know, massive heart attack, blah, blah, blah. Every day we're in touch with Tanya. Every day me and Marty are in touch. All of the people that are...
Cherie Waters, you know, I mean, she was another one we went and stopped and did an interview with.
Yeah, and all these people I know are just like dying, and we're all best friends and smile every single day. We got another day, man.
Yeah, there's just there's so much sickness in the world.
Yeah.
I know that everybody has at least one person sick with something in their family. And I know there's more than one, of course. There's multiple, and it's out of hand. We have cancer, Alzheimer's, dementia running rampant.
Heart
disease,
gastrointestinal issues.
Oh God! And the gastrointestinal issues are hitting all of our youngins. It's because of their food.
Now let me explain something to you and everybody, and let's figure this out. You never are diagnosed with autoimmune disease until after you have been diagnosed with everything else and taken every pharmacological
fighting you now
medication that's out there. So after they have poisoned you and damaged you with every bit of pharmacology, and you have zero tolerance yourself to fight things with your own immune system, or your immune system acts in an irrational way, that's autoimmune, and that's not caused by your body or an illness or something you breathed in the air or touched a grocery cart. That's designed by pharma, and then you die.
That's right. That's
Sorry,
right.
but you do, because I am.
You should sit up.
You know, so we listen, that's why we walk. We walk so that we could grow a plant outside our door that we could juice every morning. So we don't have to have plant counts. I could have,
Well,
a hundred
so
a
people
hundred
like
babies growing,
Tanya
so I
do
could
not
juice them
have to
every
go
day.
to another
That's
state
right.
to treat.
That's right.
She should be home in the comfort of her own home with her own husband, her own children, clipping the plant in the backyard for her medicine and her nutrients. That's how this needs to go.
The same way with our friend Marty. She should have been able to treat with the plant as freely and not be forced to say you can't get yourself fixed unless you take a flu shot. And it gets a flu shot and it kills her.
It kills her. How? But you know what's so upsetting about Marty's situation? Okay, now listen to me. Now, for those of you who don't know about Marty's situation, please let me tell you. She's going into the doctors for a hip operation. Routine hip replacement,
Well, I get some growth or something. Yeah, like a benign tumor or something.
And the doctor says to her, because of your age, I would like you to get the flu shot as a precaution. So she goes and she gets the flu shot because this is what her doctor tells her to do.
Well, I wasn't liked as required.
Right. So she gets it and she immediately gets sick.
Like that.
And she's in the hospital with pneumonia. Now she's got white stuff coming out of her lungs and they can't even tell her what it is.
Now, mind you, there's 15 other people on the same ICU ward.
Right. One of them happens to be her nurse.
That 5 hours into her shift went on.
Before I even go on with the story, where was this story in the media?
Yeah.
It wasn't. And it should have been. And how many times, from a bad batch, I'm sure, of the flu shot, how many other states did this happen in that it was left unsaid? I know it happened because it happened to my friend. And this person, now Marty cannot get the hip replacement.
No.
So, because she's not healthy enough. To boot, she has a heart attack, a massive heart attack. Now they go and do a quadruple bypass on her. Her bypass fails.
All 4 of them.
All of them. There's nothing left that they can do.
Every day.
She just keeps having heart attacks now until she doesn't come back from one.
Every day she's a freedom fighter.
So what, and not many people know about Marty's story because Marty doesn't come on and tell her story. I'm telling Marty's story. Marty's story needs to be heard.
Mm-hmm. Just like Tanya's does.
Marty's story should have been national news.
I believe so. Hers and 15 other people's. It's crazy. It's crazy.
These are unacceptable events that I'm not going to accept. And we're going to speak loud and proud about stuff like that. This is why we walk. It's changes like this. We can't have these things. This can't happen.
Mm-hmm. I'll have her face on my shirt because I know she wants to walk. So I'll have her face on my shirt and I'll walk with her. She knows I will. I carry her on my back if she wanted me to.
That's right.
And I would as much as
there's so many unacceptable things that are going on in the world today that we turn a blind eye to way too easy. And not even some of us, we don't even turn a blind eye to. Some of us just have no freaking clue because they're not looking.
So that's why when people say, why do you walk for people like that. For people that, and they still just, they fight every day. Every day they're dying and every day they don't care about themselves at the moment. They don't. Every day they're just happy to have that next day and they're out there still as warriors.
I know that a big part of my passion is, watching Pete go from where he was 5 years ago to where he is now and knowing exactly why that is. And I'm not giving it all to cannabis, but cannabis I'm giving it a whole lot to. The majority is cannabis. The rest is lifestyle change.
And let's
I
clear
mean,
something up because Tommy made the point.
Mhm.
Cannabis hasn't cured anything of
No.
mine. You'll never hear the
No.
word cure come out of my mouth when it comes to cannabis. I don't care what disease it is. You'll never hear the word cure come out of my mouth because I know it doesn't do it. But it gives me quality in life I didn't have.
Mhm.
I was laying in a bed, sleeping 23 hours a day, could hardly keep my
Literally.
eyes open. And I had zero quality of life. I couldn't do anything.
No,
Anything.
he couldn't.
And I could hear a lot of stuff for a long time because I was in a half a zoned world most of the time, but I could hear things. That was my existence. I don't exist any longer. I don't thrive. I can't, I can't parachute like I want to, but I know I can't do things like that. But that's all right. I can watch other people do it, and I get a big smile every time, don't I? Big smile when they're hang gliding and stuff, man. Man, I'm like, oh yeah, guys, man. You're like that's, but I still can do things though. I experience a lot of things. I get to meet a lot of beautiful people. I get to do TV and then radio and live stuff. We get to do a lot of things, and that's leading us now from here. We stop tomorrow. Well, we leave tomorrow, and then we'll stop tomorrow
in Tennessee
night and see Petey.
One of my favorite states with my boy.
Yep. She get to see her stepson. She's been dying to give him a hug. That's all I keep hearing. She's like, "Oh my God, I can't wait to."
And then head up to Missouri, and I can't wait for that. Because we're going to be a lot of us will be together then. As far as the Human Solution family.
Yeah.
And
Joe's coming in.
Yeah, there's a lot of us that are going to be there.
Sarah, Joe, Dana and Sue, Peggy
and Glenn.
And us, and that's 5 chapters right there alone.
Yeah. That's pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
And
from all over the country.
Yeah. It's all gathering for the walk, rallying together, saying no more bad policies, no more bad laws, free our prisoners, free our cannabis prisoners. My God, not another day should they stay in jail. Not one.
We hope to get some volunteers. We hope to get some donations. We hope to get some sponsors. We hope to get some, publicity.
So this is what we're doing.
We hope to get a lot of things from
We're not going to stop, and we just hope that all of you will join us, as many of you that can, from wherever you are. You can participate in so many different ways. Please visit the website, www.walk4change.us. And you will have all our contact information. Yes, we do. All our contact information will be there. Anything that you can contribute to the walk is welcome. In any way.
Even if it's a video of yourself.
Yep.
Just saying
your story. You want your story on the website, please send it to info@walk4change.us.
Yep.
info@walk4change.us.
That's right. That's right.
And that's where your videos would go, and your stories, a picture and a written story is fine as well.
So we go from there. Listen to this, guys. So then we go all the way to Missouri, right? And in Missouri, we'd rally. Then we go down to Kansas. We watch Joe speak at the.
I can't wait for that.
We have legislation presented by Mike and
Mike and Sarah.
Mike and Sarah in Kansas.
Yep.
That's our Kansas chapter. They're bringing actually the Human Solution bill to the Senate floor, or state floor, and Joe gets to speak there, which is incredible, but which is huge for our organization and for everyone.
Very cool. It's awesome. I love it.
Listen,
I can't wait to see it.
Mike and Sarah are they're
warriors. They're troopers.
They are beyond.
They're a young couple, and you know what? They get it. And I'm so glad to see the younger people just really, understanding the trouble that the world is in. And the trouble that our futures face. And
it just goes to show and prove that stoners don't sit around and eat Doritos and hang out, and when do you ever hear any of us doing that?
I know my day starts
for the world.
My days, I don't even have a paying job, and my day starts at 7 o'clock and does not stop until 9 at night. I am doing, and always doing for someone else. And look, my life is happy. My life is free, and I love it.
Well, this is the way I put it. If I was doing this for money, Jesus Christmas, I'd be doing it all wrong because I don't make a penny. But it's not about money, guys.
No.
There's so many things in our world that are so much more valuable than that. Like people say something to me like, Jesus, with all that you know and the money people you should be rich. I said, I
Yeah.
am rich. I'm the richest guy you'll ever meet.
Rich with
I ain't got two
great
nickels to rub
people,
together,
great
but I'm rich.
knowledge. We
That's
have
right.
wisdom. We
got
pass it on.
I got a beautiful puppy sleeping here. I got another one somewhere else, probably behind my neck, which is, and then I got my beautiful wife. I got the greatest life in the world. The four of us do everything.
We do. We do it all together.
We do
So
everything, and we do it well, and we do it all together.
but we do. We
argue.
definitely
Oh
do
my
do a
gosh.
lot. We
Hell,
do a lot.
We were live going into Cracker Barrel to eat today. We didn't even know
I
it.
didn't know.
Helen
Sorry,
was live in her
folks.
pocketbook. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you, Tanya.
Thanks, Tanya, for having my back because I had no damn clue.
She calls me. She goes, and Helen goes, "Hey, honey, you okay?" She goes, "Yeah, you're live in your pocketbook."
I'm like,
said,
and it even had like effects and stuff on it. I'm like, really? So she knew that wasn't me.
Of course,
I don't do that. I don't put special effects on.
But thanks for having our back, honey.
Yeah, thank you very much. That was awesome.
This time we're live for the right reason.
Mm-hmm.
So from Missouri, like I said, we'll go to Kansas. Then I hear we're going to Flint, Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're going to Toledo. Then I'm going to see Tanya.
Yeah.
Spend some time with her.
Yep.
And that's gonna be some fun too, because we haven't got to spend time at her house with her.
Yeah, no, that'll be a great time with her. I can't
wait. DJ and her kids, and
I can't wait to meet her husband and her children.
I am really excited. And her friends, man. Listen, we've really gathered a family that we haven't met yet up there, because they're all pretty cool. They're always with us, following us every day, sharing our stuff, really in support of the walk. They know what we've done for Tanya. They appreciate everything.
Yeah.
But we do it just because she's probably one of the coolest people I know, man. She puts her life out there on the world for everybody to see it, no matter how miserable her day is.
Yeah, and what she does is what Tanya does, and I'm talking about Tanya Sanders. She's Tanya San on Facebook. My journey. What is it?
Hold on, I'll get it for you right now.
I know. I can't never
remember the name because it just pops up on my thing. I don't have to know the name of it.
Wait a minute.
I'll get it for you right now.
It's My Pain, My Battle, My Story.
Yep, that's it.
And
My Pain, My
please
Battle,
follow,
My
because she is a late stage lupus patient who was sent home 3 years ago to die. They couldn't do anything anymore for her. She has a Mediport, she has a PICC line, and she has a feeding tube, and this is her life. So she has a backpack full of her nutrition and her medicine on her back 24/7. She's 38 years old. She is a mom. She's a wife, and her life is she's a nurse. Her life revolves solely around this disease and what and how to keep herself alive.
Just to see them one more day.
That's right. So for her to take the time to get on live anywhere to tell people her story, shame on you if you don't stop and listen, because what she does and how she should be dead. And as far as Western medicine is concerned, she should have died 3 years ago.
They gave up on her.
She's still here.
Yep.
She's still here because of cannabis. She's still here because of the choice that she made to take the holistic route and save herself. She's sharing that with everybody and how she did it and how she continues to stay alive.
Let me tell you how tough she is.
Real important, man.
We talked to her today, and we said, "Hey, how you feeling?" She said, "I'm feeling kind of rough." I said, "Oh, how was the bonfire?" Because there was a bonfire the night before. And she goes, "Yeah." She goes, "I really shouldn't have went." She goes, "It was really cold." She goes, "But my dad was there and my uncle was there, and they really wanted that picture."
She went for a picture.
And she went to give them a picture.
But see, that's just who Tanya is. Most people, Marty and I had a conversation in Florida about this. Marty sits back and wonders, like, how did she even have it within herself to take herself from Ohio to Massachusetts and continually do it when she needs to by herself? Like, how does she have the wherewithal, being as weak and as sick as she is, to do it? She does, because she wants her life. And this is what Pete and I do to travel around to rally for this walk, is to get people who are in this governmental way of life to say, hey, there's a better way and we can do better.
But this is the stupidity,
and we
that
can
goes
get
where
out of
this
our own way.
nonsensical governing
That's right.
comes in, where we have a plant that this girl could thrive.
Oh yeah, and proved that she could.
If she was able
to treat
without any restriction,
that's right,
use this plant the way she needs to use this plant, she could live a good life. She wouldn't be cured again. She wouldn't be cured, but she could live life with quality. She wouldn't live life to just try to stay alive another day.
That's right. Look, we all know that it's a metabolic essential and everybody metabolizes differently. So, of course, you need to have full access. Every person does, because every person is different and every person is going to need a different amount, a different titration. No one is going to be the same. So it's imperative. That's why you cannot regulate. You don't regulate Mother Nature. She regulates you.
That's right.
We have it backwards. We got to fix this.
Big ups to you, Tanya. Thank you every day for what you do. Yes,
thank you every day for what you do.
You know we love you.
You're so
every
beautiful.
Every day. We make sure
I love you so much.
Helen does too. Helen hears her voice and grabs
her phone. I get all excited.
She goes, "Hey, beautiful."
I hear when somebody messes with her, I get really pissed.
Oh my God, it's crazy. They know there are just certain people you don't do that with Helen. And
look, she has wings. Just look at Tanya Sanders and just see wings. She has big old angel wings already.
And she's got the most beautiful smile.
Aww. So just leave her be.
Helen will be on your ass like a tick on a deer tick thing, whatever. So that's it. But listen, so that's just part of the reason. And then the other side of the reason why we walk are for guys like Craig Cecil.
Yes.
And for Lance Gore.
Let's touch on Craig Cecil for a little while.
Let's touch on
let's talk about his
plight.
Yeah. Why don't you tell that story, Pete?
Well, listen, we talk about Craig on our TV show all the time.
And on a cup of Joe. Joe does as well.
But on our TV show too, as well, our viewers from there should know that Craig is doing life without the possibility for plant in
Indiana.
And Craig is a regular on a cup of Joe. He calls into the show
every week
because we advocate for him, and he advocates for the plant and for prisoners like himself. And he shouldn't even be there. First time, he's a first-time felon with a non-violent crime, and he's never had a crime in his life. This guy, and now he's in jail for the rest of his life for a plant. But that's why we fight. But Craig calls into the show a lot, and we found out through Craig that he had been abused by one of the guards. Members. So the staff member abused him. Craig filed a complaint.
Yeah.
Well, in turn of filing the complaint, internal justice takes over. They throw Craig in the SHU, which is a solitary housing unit, where he's in solitary confinement, and they confiscate all his paperwork for his clemency from his cell, so he no longer has it.
And blatantly just look at him and tell him, "Yep, we took it.
We did it.
Yep, you're not getting it back."
And they can.
These are things that are happening. That look, first of all, he should have been left out already. Yes. Okay, that's number one.
Yes.
Now you've already violated that. Now you're throwing him, you're beating him, and then throwing him in solitary. We are an organization that is out here saying,
you can't treat.
You don't do that.
You can't treat people like that.
We did not create this system of housing criminals for this.
Right,
this is not what we created this for.
Right. So viewers, listen. Yes,
we're the people.
We're talking about a federal penitentiary. Yes, but listen, this is cannabis.
You don't do it.
This is a man that never even dealt with cannabis. He was a mechanic on a truck.
That's right.
That got rolled on and took the blame for everybody else. Whatever the case may be, it's cannabis. He's not a murderer. He's not robbing people. He's not
That's right.
raping. There's not a victim. There's not a victim anywhere here. So there's not a crime.
But yet,
you think it's possible, life without the possibility.
Right.
And a guy 3 cells down walks out shaking his hand saying, hey, man, I'm sorry. After 17 years for killing 3 CIA agents.
He said, yeah, but if I had a joint on me that day that they got me, I'd be sitting here with life for you, with you.
Isn't that just a shame?
And then here we have, I read an article on a pedophile who's out over and over again and then abuses a 19-month-old after being, I mean, he had a case in 99 and a case in the early 2000s to end 2014, and then you let him rape a freaking 19-month-old? You shit freaking government. How does that happen?
And we got people that have that don't want to take opiate pain medications, so they treat with just oils or they smoke a joint, whatever it is they got to do to keep themselves calm, and they come and take their children and auction them off, because believe me, man, they get paid for them kids.
Yeah, you want to look at child trafficking? Go look at social services.
Yes, absolutely. It's the worst organization. I mean, listen.
Yep, I said it.
Have some children been saved? Absolutely, some children have been saved. But it became a racketeering, man. When
I think that they got it. I think they started getting it right when they started implementing like FAR programs. When they started, actually sending someone out to see if there's really because you got so many different calls. People call on stupid things all the time. But they took it away. They don't utilize it anymore. Why not?
But at the end of the time,
I mean,
then you got people policing people's homes, and you don't want people policing people's homes. But the fact of the matter is that we choose a right and better way of treatment, and what happens? We end up being ostracized.
Yes.
Our kids taken from us, having our lives threatened. What I mean by lives threatened, they come to your door with guns, people. And when they bust your door open, they got guns pointed at you. It's not easy. It's not like they show up and go, hi, no. The police are here, and we were just wondering if you had a little marijuana in your home. They bust in. They got freaking the SWAT team with them, people in armor. They act like you're some hardened criminal. Like you're Osama bin Laden. Yeah.
I mean, really? Come on.
And this is on your own streets in America. Them serving hundreds of warrants throughout a county in a day's time. Hundreds of them in a day's time. And coming up with next to nothing, if anything. And they're ripping kids out of the house and scaring the shit out of them.
Look, we cannot allow this any longer. We know enough about the plant and human physiology and how they mimic each other, and we know enough about the nutraceutical that hemp is and the medicinal plant that cannabis is, or marijuana.
Pot,
we know enough. I don't care. We know well more than enough to know that this is unacceptable. Having any restrictions on this plant is unacceptable. It should be in our food chart.
Before
learn about the plant, and you'll agree.
1930s, that's how it was. There was nothing.
Yes, learn about the plant. You wanted to do with please.
You could have grown
the stuff
you hanging out
to learn about the
hanging out your window baskets. You could have grown it before 1939. I mean, it's crazy, man. It is crazy how
it's insanity to keep this going.
We went after 10,000 years of proof by every religion. Everybody, it's on every medical plant list from the beginning of time.
Mm-hmm.
From the time this stuff started getting charted, pots there, etched in the walls of caves.
Yep.
I mean, come on.
Well, it's gonna come to a head with the walk.
Yes,
for sure. That's the goal.
Yes,
is to end this with the walk. Because we're just done. We're all sick and tired of being sick and tired. We want better. We want to live. We don't want to exist. We don't want to be slaves to our doctors.
No.
We want our doctors back in our communities where they belong, not in these big corporate
we want
buildings.
Our politicians to work for us. We don't want them to just be up there making their own stuff up and doing what they want to do while we sit down here and build the machine underneath them and support
No, we
it.
want
Come on.
politicians like New York has Larry Sharp, one that's going to get down in the communities with the people and find out what they want.
Yeah, that man, when he ran, he went.
He did it right. He campaigned right. He
went to every county in the state.
Let me tell you something.
At least once.
Any politician out there, if you do not take a page out of Larry Sharp's book, you're a fool. Man. He knows how to win, and let me tell you something. He does it. The reason he knows how to win is because he does it true. He does it genuine. He does it real, and he does it right.
That's right. He does it with every bit of integrity.
Oh, absolutely.
A stellar man. We love Larry. We support Larry and everything he does. And you know, it's good to know that. It's good to know.
Look him up.
It's good to know that
Larry Sharp, the Sharp Way. Look him up.
It's good to know that. We had a guy in New York that really tried to make the right changes.
Yeah.
And that's what it was all about. It was about a guy. And again, he's not a politician.
No, he's a businessman.
Yeah, he's a businessman that just sees all the wrong that's going on.
Yes.
And he went out to every
and has great
county.
ideas.
He was a city boy. He knew nothing about cows. But he'll tell you what, he'll tell you a whole lot about them now.
Yep.
And I mean that. He can tell you a lot about them, right? Because he sat with those people. He went to Diner after VFW, after American Legion, after you name it. And he spoke to people, county fairs. You name it. He did everything. And he did it for 2 years. We had the pleasure of speaking with him twice.
Yes.
You know, in person. You know, other times we got the chance to hear him speak and all. But Larry's just a true guy.
Again, he's the type of person we want running our government.
Right.
This is what we need to remember is that we make the choice. It's we the people. It's our choice who sits in those seats, not theirs. There's so much that needs to change, but the change has to come from us. And in order for us to make the big change where we're all seeing it, is we have to change here first. So if we're all doing our due diligence with our own, everything else falls into place.
Now, if you notice, the whole time we just spoke about that, we never even mentioned the fact that Larry is a libertarian.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, you know, he's not Republican nor Democrat. We're emissaries for the New York Libertarian Party.
Yes, we are.
So, but the party doesn't matter. Like, again, I mean, to us it does, because we want everybody to believe in the things we do. Life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. I own me. Don't bother me. I won't bother you. I won't bother you. Don't bother me. Let's treat each other with respect and we'll all get along.
That's right.
And boy, that just sounds like a really good life to me.
Sure does.
And pretty much how our Constitution reads: life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. Your happiness, my happiness, different, doesn't matter. You pursue yours. Don't let it affect mine. Mine won't affect yours. We'll have a good life. We'll have a good time. That's it. We don't, again, people get hooked up with all about America, how we own this and I own this and
everybody's all hung up on
you don't own anything. You just don't pay your taxes. You own the house. You can take the house with you. They want your land. It's crazy what we allowed to happen. And
well, we slept through the changes.
Yeah.
We were all drug induced through the changes, whether they were street drugs or pharmaceutical drugs or both. Yeah. So I mean, that's what it was, and that's why we're in the mess that we're in. And P and I are traveling the United States to make some noise and gather some people of like mind to make the changes with us. And we're doing it, and we're going to continue doing it.
Good. Then we're back, but then after we do all that whole Flint, Ohio thing, then we come back down
to Atlanta.
We have
another
11th,
rally.
We do an event with James Maisner, and James is Pound One Plant United. Make sure you put the United at the end, because the other one was taken from and robbed. But
your hair is a mess, and it's really aggravating me.
We don't deal. It's just
never.
Back. No, it just
takes pride in what he's doing.
Just pull back.
What are you doing?
There you go.
Yeah,
There's my mop. you want it pulled back? I got fucking 5 minutes and 46 seconds
Whatever.
before I say goodnight, folks. But
So to start wrapping things up,
we're doing the James Mazur thing in Decatur, November 11th.
Okay.
It's Veterans Day. If you can come to that event, please do. It's a really good event. He puts
Decatur,
on.
Georgia.
It's
November
really
11th.
impactful. That's what I'll just say. Let's just say it's a very impactful, and if you get a chance to come, if not, watch it. It'll live stream for sure. But they were there, and then from there we're starting to head west.
Sit up, please.
And
Thank
from
you.
there we're starting to head west.
You drive me crazy. You really do. Insane.
But you know what? She's never gotten a ticket. Drive you crazy.
Well, that was just corny. I can't even laugh. I can laugh at how corny it was, though.
Hey, listen, she laughs all day.
I do, because she is
can't
a
tell you
funny
she doesn't,
MFer.
man. Oh my god.
But you are.
And then these dogs will entertain the heck out of you. Like, look at this one back here. She's been on camera the whole time.
So, I think we're gonna say so
Sayonara.
long for now.
Yeah.
This is Can We Talk 420. We are also the traveling and New York State chapter of the Human Solution International, called Solidarity Over Separation, SOS. And please feel free to reach out to us as we are on the road, traveling through maybe your town. If you want your story told, you want us to come and tape it, interview you, put it on the website, and
Which
get
is
it out there.
www.walk4change.us. That's
right. That's the website. And but please get a hold of us at info@walk4change.us.
Yeah.
You can also contact Pete or myself personally if you'd like us to travel near you while we're on the road. Then please contact us at Pete and Helen at walk4change.us. And please be the best you can be. And until next time.
Until next time, listen.
Be the changes you wish to see in the world.
Absolutely. But listen, guys, we have a new salute too, and it's going to go through the walk, and it's 3 fingers for weed. Okay. And that's our salute. And then we have 2 fingers for peace, because we're going to do this peacefully.
That's right.
You know, and then there always could be 1 finger left that we could turn around and tell them to go
fuck you with your federal guidelines.
That's right. There we go. So that's how we'll just do it. Hopefully nobody gets offended.
Oh, well.
To be politically correct.
Live the changes you wish to see in the world. Until next time.
That's right.
Hey, listen. Yapo from Can We Talk.
Yeah, we'll try to educate you. We'll try to entertain you. And we'll try to, let you know where we are on the planet. Peace, y'all. Good job.